you ready to party? Let's go.
Welcome back, guys, to our April, why are you laughing, monthly review.
I don't know.
We have myself, Tim Fisher. We have Sam Komalafe. You can say what's up.
Hi.
Yeah, it's so cool. We have Danielle Cravat
Hey, honeys.
and Jordan Gimiola.
Hello,
Jordan.
It's 100. It's our 100th episode.
You totally wanted to say 1 million.
but I mean, it's a big deal. This is right.
Yes, so everybody knows this is our 100th episode, and I love that it fell on our monthly review. I think that's special.
Yeah.
Woo! Not only that, we haven't seen each other all together
It's been a while.
for like 2 reviews.
Yeah,
That's true.
A lot of stuff has gone down, but life is good.
Always.
Yeah, but this is cool. I wanted to start out and tell you guys how much I'm thankful for this team and what we do and how it's come together. I know I came up with the idea, put it together, but this couldn't happen without all 3 of you, or all 4 of us, I would say. And I love it. It's such a good flow. What are you doing? God, yeah, get that bell. But yeah, seriously, you guys have become like second family. To be honest with you. You guys are probably the closest besides my family. And you've carried me through some difficult times, and it's been really good. So I love you guys, and I appreciate it a lot. This wouldn't be Let's Go without you guys. So thank you.
Us.
Yeah.
Gonna slightly pat myself on the shoulder here. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, man, dude.
Do like a
this has
good
been
dad
rad.
hug.
Yeah, good dad slap. I was gonna do it, but I don't want to knock the mic over. No, it's can't believe it's already been 100.
It's wild.
I remember when we were doing it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And just
I was there.
Free flying, dude. Yeah, just seeing what happens, and now it's like kind of an operation now. You know?
Yeah, and so people who are new listeners, Sam and Danielle were actually some of our first guests because we started out just, hey, let's get our friends on here. And then they became a part of the podcast. I'm glad we asked you guys.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
It's just all one drunken night. Someone hit play.
Right. That's me.
Oh, sorry, record.
Well, the cool part is, like a few people have been hitting me up from different guests, you know, like our last guy, the rocket scientist, super cool
Seth,
dude.
yeah.
Seth
So
is
dope.
awesome.
Yeah, rad.
Shout out Seth, we love you, dude. But they're like, oh, like how do you guys do it? Do you write? I'm like, we don't write anything down. We just hit record and go.
That's probably the number one thing I get asked. Like, if anyone's talking about the podcast, they're like, how do you know? What do you guys do? Like, I'm like, I'll be honest, we just kind of show up.
Literally, yeah.
We roll off the most organic as
Literally
possible.
almost spit all over your face right now.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't, because you did have a full mouth of
I did.
this high noon here. So, but yeah, no, it's always funny talking about it because you're just like, that probably sounds funny to someone else. They're like, you know, because when you say, oh yeah, you're on a podcast, you're doing all this stuff, you're like, yeah, we got 100 episodes. 100. That's 100, at least 2 hour roughly episodes.
yeah.
That's a lot of time, a lot of effort. And it's like, you would think that there would be more to the start. You know what I mean? Like when they're like, you have some, how do you do research on them? Do you go through this? You're like, I don't actually. What I do is I introduce myself and I wing it,
Literally, yeah.
which is also the name of my new book I'm writing.
Yeah.
It's called Winging It.
Wing It by
Yeah.
Jordan Gimiola. A great book.
Let me know when I can pre-order.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, but all I have to
joking.
say, thanks guys. Honestly, this is it's going in a really good direction. It's kind of taking on a life of its own. It's
I
awesome.
would like to call us a modern day Seinfeld.
Really? But you can pull your mic down, you know.
Oh, sorry. It's just-
Stay
You're
close
over
to
here
it.
reaching.
You
Thank
got to
you.
stay close to it.
It was really hard to cheese up this whole time.
Oh gosh.
Training over there.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be interesting because you're moving out of state. So
Yes.
I hope you can still make as many monthly reviews. You always have a spot if
Yes.
you can make it. So
I mean, I always tell you when I'm coming in. But
Hey,
That's
I
what she
will
said.
also know.
that was good.
Office joke.
Yeah, I'll try to make it as much as I can.
please do.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
You have to.
Swing it.
I know you're part of the original fam, dude.
I'll be listening for my replacement, possibly. No.
If
Yeah,
anybody
exactly.
wants to put an application, preferably a female that can hold their own. That's not fucking crazy.
That's gonna be tough.
Trying to say.
That'd be cool.
I'm kidding. Your ladies aren't crazy, but well, let's get into this. You know what I
I'm
want
not
to start out with?
Anyway,
I want to start out with first is Elon Musk buying Twitter. I believe it was $44 billion.
Billion.
Hit that thing. Can you imagine if you had $44 billion you could just throw away into an app?
No, I can't imagine that at all. Like, not one part of my brain can fathom having more than 40. Not only just having 44 billion,
Right.
but having enough money to where that is a good purchase.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Oh shoot! There we go. I keep messing this up. No, that's it is crazy. So that happened today. You know, there's been talk the last 2 weeks, right, about them pitching the bid, and then at first they were like, nope, and then there was something about a Saudi prince had more shares than Elon Musk did, so like the company wasn't going down. And then this guy just steps in and is like, I'm going to buy this fucking whole thing.
He's like, hold up, let me see how much I got in my pocket.
Right.
Well, but what does it implicate?
Yeah.
Right? I think that's where everyone's kind of like, is it good? Is it bad? Right?
I'm super anxious to see now, like, if people really do get, like, more of their freedom of speech, what's going to be spitting out now.
I think so. He put out a release about freedom of speech and making Twitter.
I mean, that's the whole... Wasn't that like one of the main
That's the
reasons
whole main
why
reason, yeah.
he wanted it?
Yeah.
Is
Major
so-
censorship on there, right? And
Yeah.
whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or whatever, doesn't matter to me. But yes, it was definitely more leaning towards Democrats, the left, right? And it was pissing people off. If you didn't follow the narrative or what they said, you were pretty much silenced, right? I mean, main one is what? Donald Trump?
I was going to say, if you were a Trump supporter.
So say you think
but
they'll
like
like
a popular
Roseanne back?
one. Because Roseanne got booted
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And that was, there's this, it's so crazy because there's so much it can implicate. It's like, if he does go with what he's saying, so then effectively then censorship will be brought back down and anyone can get on there. It's like, I don't know. I'm a fan of it because I feel like he's kind of like the modern day Bond villain a little bit.
I'm pretty down.
But he plays like both sides of things.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, 4 or 5 years ago, he was like the champion of like more of the progressive movement of like all electric stuff. Everyone was like, Elon Musk is going to, all his technology based stuff was pushing forward, super popular. But then all of a sudden he kind of got in the paint with a little bit of the politics stuff, but mostly because of freedom of speech issues. And it's like, now he's like Dr. Evil, you know? So it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, it is going to be interesting on how this pans out. I don't know. I'm excited to see it unfoil. And I bought some Twitter stock today.
Of course. Of course.
Hey, you know?
I'm down to possibly see some mean tweets. I mean, I wasn't years ago, but I'm actually
Well, now,
kind of down to see some.
according to, well, this is, I think Fox News put it out, so who knows if it's true or not, but supposedly, because that other social application, the Truth Social, that was like supposedly done through Trump, like to create basically another Twitter type kind of,
Is that the one
community,
you
whatever.
sent us?
Yeah, that was one.
I think I'm on True Social.
Yep.
Oh shit! I can't even get on it because I don't have an iPhone.
Gotti.
on, dude.
Losing out on extra people.
I mean, not to hate with people with Androids, but like, come on, guys. You know who do have like people I know that have Androids are usually like really smart people.
Thanks.
Yep.
The intelligent ones. So
Well, I didn't want to say it, but
yeah, like Seth, the rocket scientist we had out here. He doesn't have an iPhone.
he doesn't, and
No.
I wouldn't consider myself on that level. But it's nice to be in the group.
Tim, you got some shit on your nose.
We have the same phone, so we're practically the same.
No, I'm trying to find Elon Musk's tweet. What he said.
Yeah, I actually had no idea that happened until I walked in
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, neither did I. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we're seeing how he's like anything he says completely changes the landscape of what's going on. And if he says something, everybody goes crazy. You know. So what better?
Okay.
He's Tony
So
Stark.
here's what
He's
he.
the Iron Man.
The Iron Man.
Yeah. So here's what Elon Musk tweeted after the deal went down for $44 billion. He said, "Quote: Free speech is the bedrock of functioning democracy, and Twitter is a digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open. Oh, why did this load like that? Open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it."
Ring that bell.
I think he's going to make Twitter better again.
Yeah, that could be a new hat.
Make Twitter great.
Right.
MT.
What color would it
Light
be?
blue. I was gonna say it's got to be light blue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it Yeah. Anyway.
It's a good.
Yeah. Well, look,
Like, all right.
I think he's
Yeah.
going to make it better. Anything he touches typically goes pretty well.
Well,
He's smart.
He's a tech guy.
Yeah,
right?
and
I
he
mean,
he brings on the right team on everything that he does.
right.
He gets good people in there. So
I mean, he's like worth $100 billion. So I feel like all the things that he's backed predominantly have gone through, and they've done successfully. So to think that he would take something over as a crapshoot of trying to make it better of a community, not a community, but the social structure, or however what am I trying to say? Just increase the tech for the Twitter. Sorry. Break it up. Jesus, land the plane, Jordan. Yeah.
I thought there was a midget on the side of the table. I was like, who are you looking at?
I was looking at my drink over here.
well, I deleted my Twitter long
Did you?
ago. Yeah, I don't even have one. I mean, I'm sure I can relog into it and bring it back up, but I was done. I'm like, this place is ridiculous.
I never really had one.
Yeah, same.
Twitter's kind of the Wild West because you can look at porn on there still.
Yeah, I was doing it more so. I like to follow the
like
political
true.
stuff.
Touche.
Don't ask me how I know that.
I mean, you could find.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on Twitter. It's crazy, dude. And but to me, and I think it was Mike Tyson who said it, right? It's like these social platforms have made people okay with talking crap and not getting punched in the face, and that is what Twitter is. You got these keyboard warriors or keyboard surfers who think they're all tough, and they're sitting in their mom's basement, and they rattle off these tweets and retweet back to people or whatever you do on there, and they're talking trash, they're rude, disrespectful. Who's going to touch them?
Right.
Who's going to keep them accountable,
I just picture me laying in bed like, idiot.
But I think that's but that part of it, I feel like that's going to be really hard to be able to mitigate that issue.
That's true.
I think the hard part with Twitter is like, I'm not like a political activist at all. But I do like to I will ask questions about stuff if I didn't know, or then like I'm not being a smart ass, but I'll ask about like, well, what about this? Like, can you explain this part of it? Anytime I ever had any interaction like on there that wasn't a like common narrative type, it was like, you're a racist, you're this, you're this. And
if you didn't agree with
how
them, right?
did you even gather that from what we were talking about? That wasn't the premise, and we don't know each other, and you can't judge anything by my picture because it's.
They pulled out the skin tone swatch.
They're like, we know you.
Let's see what shade you are.
Well, it's funny, right? You're a racist, but aren't you Lebanese?
Yes. Yeah, but no one wants to hear that. They're like, yeah, you're like the white sand people. You're like, okay, well.
The white sand people.
Yeah. Which is funny because, like, if you
got
actually go
another
down
name
my
for
family
this.
side, they're more like more Middle Eastern looking, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
More traditionally. But
I just thought you were a white.
yeah, well, hey.
Well, we'll see where Twitter goes. I think it's gonna be good, personally.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
I would agree. And I think that, like you said, it's pretty much the Midas touch on all the tech stuff.
Everything.
You know what I mean? So I wish I bought more stock in Twitter, but, let's see where this can go. Do you know what I mean?
Well, speaking of stock, I don't know if we have it written on here, but Disney, their stock has plummeted right now because everything has happened with DeSantis. Now,
The what?
Disney in Florida. What was the right that he took away from them, George? Do you remember?
No,
what-
but you said with everything that happened with the what? I didn't hear that.
with
word.
DeSantis, the governor.
Oh,
he took
okay.
away their what's it called?
So what they did was they reclassified their tax, not position, but how they
right.
But because
So they can govern themselves, right?
right. So they operate, or before they had operated kind of like with a tax exemption, like a church almost. And the reason they were granted that is because when they formulated it, it was like in the 60s or something, is that they agreed to providing all their own public utilities, like for the operation of Disney World. Now, you can, if I'm saying this wrong, please let me know if I'm wrong. But that's what I gathered from this.
Right.
So because of a lot of the repercussions from the bill that was dubbed the "Don't Say Gay" bill, and there was which I don't remember the name of the bill, so that's how I know it.
I think that's what it is.
But there was a lot of backlash from that because it was like, well, one, the bill didn't say that, period. It doesn't say that no one's supposed to say gay. What it did is it limited sexual education from 3rd grade to like 5th or 6th. Like, it was a short window. It wasn't like eradicating it from the school system. But because it was non-specific, that's like, it was spun to, they don't want them to talk about like gay and trans stuff in like little kids' school. It actually was no sexual anything. like regardless if it was heterosexual, homosexual, whatever.
Yeah.
So this blew up, and Disney took a hard stance on that, especially with one of the parks being in Florida, right?
Right.
And they came out and said that everything that they put out will have a member of the LGBTQ people in the movies. So then there was like this back and forth kind of deal, and DeSantis was like, dude, you guys save like $200+ million a year in taxes, like having your operation in this state. I think it's time to start paying the piper.
Which I think is fair, personally.
Yeah,
the money they bring in?
I mean, they're not a church, dude. Like, it's the same thing. It's the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, these non-profit organizations that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars that pay people hundreds of millions.
Like Hillsong?
Ooh, that's a good
Exactly
one.
like Elon's song. But that's, but this different premise of the tax, but same tax exemption, basically. And so that's why it's like, this is kind of a big deal. And they won. So Disney's going to have to pay that. And it's like, $200 million, like fucking Disney crushes. You know what I mean? Like, this is, we're talking, and they're like, oh, but we save on the public utilities. It's like, how? You know what I mean? You're not manufacturing your own water. You don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you import it from other spots. They're making this huge deal where it's like, what, you get public service. So like, you have your own police department, your own fire department, your own EMS. You know that gets punted out outside the grounds anyway. So it's not like you're really saving that much on those things. So I thought it was great. I was like, why not?
I agree.
I mean, if they did that in California, I hope they're doing that in California. No one should be getting away with not paying that much.
Well, no, because they get to save all that money, but it's the working class that's getting just demolished right now.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense to me. I so disagree with that. Why don't you give a break to the working class people, to the mom and dads who are working 2 jobs, single mom, single dad that are busting their butt to put food on the table, take care of their kids, get them educated? Why don't we get why don't they get tax breaks?
Amen, baby.
Why do these $1 million companies bringing in all this money get all these loopholes and breaks? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't agree with it.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's why they said they're going to get taxed. I was like, good, tax the heck out of them.
Right.
Go for it.
And what's I find my like pessimistic look on things, I find it very ironic that the people championing the loudest are the ones that have taxed the rich, because the rich people, the 1%, makes more than everyone else, and that we should all be paying our fair share. And now it's like, okay, well, it's time for Disneyland to pony up, and they're like, you're just attacking them.
Right.
You're just attacking them. And it's like, fucking make up your mind. You know what I mean?
Leave
It's like,
Britney alone.
yeah, well, right. It's like everyone, if all we do as a culture is virtue signal to each other, then we're never going to take a step forward together as a group. Never.
Correct.
Like, it's never going to happen, because every one of us sitting at this table can find one thing to probably be like, this is what I stand for. And if we don't align on what we stand for, then that means we can't look bigger than the group. As long as we're in that position, I feel like not just a country, but as a culture, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to go anywhere. We'll just keep walking in circles and then being pissed, or at least I'll still be pissed off, not figuring out why the hell isn't anything changing.
What's another good example of that is, okay, so the transgender, whoever that man who's swimming, right? The collegiate athletes, right? Just dominating women.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, to me, you're just crapping all over women's sports. Okay? Now, where are the women's rights people? That again, I'm like, well, why are they silent? How come no one's speaking up?
Because it's too hard of an argument to make a valid statement that makes sense. You can't. It doesn't matter, because a champion of a feminist movement, a feminist group, right, of, whatever you want to call it, equality, everything for women, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as this happens, it's like, what do you say? Because now you're going to be shitting on the trans community if you talk down to this person, which we can't do, because we're all together, right?
Right.
So, which is okay, and I'm not dissing that. What I'm saying is it puts itself into a position where it's like you're going to fall on deaf ears, other than the people that just go, that shit ain't fair. And I'm in that group. I don't think it's fair.
I agree.
I feel like you do what you want to do in your personal life, right? And that's great. I support that. But I don't when now it's like, oh, well, it's got to be fair. So if I consider myself female, now I can enter into female competition. And it's like, dude, this guy's fucking 20. And I don't know if you've seen pictures of this guy like 2 years ago. Jack City. Okay? Great looking, ripped physique, all that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so he wants to, but actually he wants to, or he is now she, because I'm being respectful, but now wants to be transsexual, but also still likes girls, which is cool. Right on. Okay. But like weird process a little bit.
Would that be like a fake lesbian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
No, Danielle, it's not fake.
Yeah, right.
She can like whoever,
Right.
and it doesn't matter.
Got it.
I'm just kidding. All of it doesn't matter. It puts it, like I said originally, it puts it in a weird box because it's just like, how do you support it?
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
I
it's
have
just-
my nieces, and if I ever have a daughter one day, I'm like, I don't want them changing in the same locker room as someone that's transgender or swimming with them or competing. It's not fair, and that's not right. That's just my personal opinion. And I mean, why not have the transgender? Why don't they have their own league or their own grouping where it's men against men, women against women? And
That's a good idea, actually.
You know what I'm saying? Why not? What's the big deal with that? Because again, like Jordan
Yeah.
said, I don't care who you worship, your religion, who you love, or if you're transgender or not. That's cool. You make your own decision. It's not my business. It's not my problem. But when you start making it my problem and putting it into sports, and now you're trashing female sports, and now it's not fair to the women, I just don't agree with it. I'm not down with it, man. I don't care what your pronouns or whatever we call it. It's fine. Speaking of which, I saw a really funny meme, and it might be offensive, but it said Disney's new pronouns was and were.
Disneyland once was where.
Yeah, dude. I was like, ooh, that was fire, dude.
Dude, that's pretty. The internet always wins.
Oh, they
always
undefeated.
That's good.
Completely undefeated.
Yeah, that
I think that would be interesting to see, though, because, for instance, like if the men who would trans to women and the women trans to men,
Exactly.
would the women be all winning?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chappelle had a special. Well, every special he talks about transgender people. I didn't realize it was that frequent. But yeah, he talks about like, well, if like LeBron, wanted to, just change his gender and then go to the WNBA.
Dang, that's a huge bitch.
That bitch dunking everybody. Right.
would break every record that was ever.
Yes.
That will never be broken unless some next figure jumps over of like of that stature.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man. He was like, he scored like 840 points every game. He'd totally kill everybody.
He's like, hey, baby.
And then it'd be a problem though, because he was the one that did it.
Well, that subject is. It seems to be a very sensitive topic, but and to me, I don't know why. Like, we should be able to talk about it and be fair. And to me, what's happening in women's sports isn't fair.
Right.
I just don't think it's right.
Right.
Let them have their own, like, I don't say league, but men against men, women against women, transgender against transgender. It's fine. Let them do their thing.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
Right. It's sensitive because it's not the norm, It's like, well, this is how I feel, and how I feel isn't exactly how I'm seen. So, of course, the sensitivity is off the charts.
Yeah, and it's like no disrespect at all. Well, I don't think any of us mean disrespect by it, but you got to call something like when it's fair and when it's unfair. It ain't
Exactly.
right, dude. I just don't think it's right. So, I don't know. That was one example I was thinking of too,
But it's a good topic because it's like there's so much to take away from that because it's not only just the individual that's trying to compete and like if you feel you have gender dysphoria, you're like, okay, I'm making the commitment, I'm going to jump to this way of living, right? Like how I would present myself gender wise, right? Yeah. Or what you associate with, or whatever the terms are. It's like I get that can't be easy and that can't be like a difficult situation to live. So it's like when I talk about that, I kind of always feel guilty because I'm like, dude, I get it. Like I can see people just like so confused or so whatever, where they're just like, I have to do something, and they do it, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, hey, right on. You did it. Like, good for you. That's rad. But I feel like the push into the sport realm is such a weird, like, it's like, okay, it's like, is the pitch to make people feel bad? So it's okay for this person to compete. And it's like, all right, I'll play along a little bit just to see what happens. Well, we have like a tremendous amount of results of this where it just doesn't appear to be fair at all. Right. And it's like whether it's the swimmer where it was the two, I think Vermont, the top 2, 1 and 2, all track or decathlon, or I'm not a track and field guy, but it's like that holds all the records for all the stuff. We're 2 guys competing in the girls' league as high schoolers.
They're crushing all the records.
There was a guy from Texas that went to, I don't know if it was college, I believe it was high school, but 2-time state champion, right? Transitioned, male to female, just wrecking women in that division, right? And then you had, but where I wanted to round this off is that just to keep, like, I don't know, like just keeping things in perspective. I don't know if you guys remembered, but about 2 years ago, there was this big deal about a inmate that was petitioning for saying that he identified as female. And because of that, he feels that he is a woman and should be allowed to go to the female prison. And there's a big hoopla about it because there's like one group's like, he's just going to go over there and fuck him. Right? And then there's another group over there. I tried to make that right. Well, I kind of thought that too. I was like, well, if he's not gay, then this would be kind of a weird scenario. But then there's the other side where it's like, well, if that's what it is, we should do it. Well, just as it came out last week, 2 chicks pregnant from this individual.
What?
Yeah, 2 other inmates that were there that he, been there and whatnot. And again, not that you can't be trans and a woman and still like women, but it's like a confusing process. But all right, I'll bite. But now this happens. Right? So now what is this? Now you have 2 inmates that are in jail that have babies. What are you going to do with the babies? Are they going to go to adoption or where they're going to have the babies or not? You know what I mean? It's just like, God, man, crazy.
It is. It's
I
interesting.
didn't even think about that. Be nuts.
Danny, you can lower your mic stand, by the way, if it's too high.
I don't know how.
No, you bring up a good point. I mean, I read that and I was like, dude, what a mess.
Yeah.
It's just it's an interesting time in our civilization.
Good way to
It really is.
dude.
It's like whoa, damn,
There it is.
good.
Hey, what do you think LeBron's name would be? Like Libra?
Libra.
Hey, honeys, Libra here.
Libra would be good.
Yeah.
Libra would be good. He's like, it's Libra. You're like, you still sound like a ginormous man, though.
I don't think we have this written down, but I'm sure you guys heard that CNN started their own streaming service and it crashed and burned.
I thought I heard
fired the
something, but I
CEO.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And plus,
CNN Plus. I think they only got 150,000 subscribers. Nobody was watching.
it was 10,000 in the first day. And that's like after, I'm sure they put a bunch of money into it. I can't imagine. And they had
Millions. I mean,
Yeah.
hundreds of millions.
Well,
They were thinking, I think they said they wanted to invest $1 billion over 4 years.
and they scrapped that shit.
Oh, yeah. And they fired the CEO because Disney owns CNN.
Oh, dude, you're telling me that wasn't like some guy's, like CEO guy's nephew that's like, Uncle Pete, I got this sweet idea, dude.
Oh, Jonah Hill.
Yeah, we're going to make an app, and it's going to be like, you have to pay a little bit, and then we could put stuff on there. And he's like, well, he's in college. I mean, we're paying a lot for him to get, educated. So,
Dude,
boom, fail.
to be,
Suck it, Pete.
you're showing that the people have spoken.
Yeah.
That's what it's showing you. Now, whether you get your news from CNN, Fox, ABC, I don't care. You look and watch whatever you want. But that should show you a lot really fast.
I would agree. What's the pulse on the people? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Wallace, right? He left Fox News to go to CNN.
Yeah.
And now he's out of a job.
Damn.
Done.
I can't say I feel bad.
No.
I have a question. How do you guys feel about it? Because like that happened, right? Do you feel like it's like the political climate right now with Democrats being in office? Like how much of that has to do with it? What if it was released when Trump was president?
CNN Plus?
CNN, yeah. A streaming service, that's primarily Democratic.
Oh, dude, if they were smarter, they would have released it like 6 months before the election.
Right.
Right? Because if you're going to build that train, and there was a lot of things happening right before the election.
Oh yeah.
That would have probably been smarter, because now it's like you waited 2.5 years, and it's like there isn't a whole lot of good things to say, at least from like a governmental organization of what we put out. I would say
This could be the push to get them back, though. Like, hey, maybe we're doing pretty bad now. Let's put this streaming. People sign up. It'll be fine.
Take the wheel.
Take the right.
Well, you got to think, though. I mean,
84 million people voted for Joe Biden. So
most popular president in history, allegedly. I allegedly, I'll say. Look, I
And you got a spaghetti sauce. And
here, hold on. It was nice to meet you.
yeah, someone's like, dude, you hear the Babylon Bee?
Yeah,
They released like an article and it shows Joe Biden shakes the hand of a ghost.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw that. I was so busy.
Or when the Easter Bunny shoos him away from the the Easter Bunny's like, get out of here, Joe. No one wants to hear that rambling shit. Yeah. He's just like,
it just shows the back of his head, and he's like,
oh, dude. Yeah, that's Joe. Hey, I don't even know if we should even talk about it.
No, he's got cognitive decline. I'll argue that all day.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you see the New York Post? It was 2 days ago. It was about, it was, so there's a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks about the Hunter Biden laptop deal. And without going too deep into it, it just so there's a lot stuff coming out, little things you start hearing.
I mean, that whole sentence.
I guess that works. That's
Go
what she
back
said.
15 seconds. You guys will know.
They also found an email in his laptop to his brother's wife, who he was sleeping with, that she needs to get checked for HIV.
Oh my
Man.
God.
Awkward conversation.
What?
Bro.
Yeah, well, because the part of the article was that the article confirmed that Joe Biden met with Hunter Biden's work associates, the ones that he like the guy from Burisma, all the like the Ukrainian utility deals and all that shit. That they like it said that he met like with them in the West Wing of the White House. So like basically it's not saying what they talked about. They could have just had dinner. What all it's doing is just showing the implications that it's like this fucking kid built a bunch of shit on top of his dad's name, which happens with everybody. I get that argument too. But it's like he was the sitting vice president at the time, right? And if we're going to play like, well, we should hold people accountable game, it's like I couldn't imagine if that was one of Trump's kids doing that. That would have been all over every press,
Filleted.
all over. And like from day
Filleted.
one, it would have been like, we need to get him out of, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I just find it like very ironic, but it is kind of interesting that the story's not going away. It just kind of keeps building.
Okay, well, and that goes into CNN, right? Again, I don't care where you get your news from, but definitely a double standard on there.
No
You know,
doubt.
I mean, and I think people are starting to recognize that. And when you watch CNN as well, I'm trying hard not to sound like an a-hole here, but how long are you gonna say it's Trump's fault for everything, and he's gone out of office? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That I saw an article on CNN that the inflation is Trump's fault. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, what are you?
Still.
Are you really think I'm gonna believe that? Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well,
Come on, man.
come on, man. It's the best excuse ever. It was the last guy.
And Trump's
his
all,
fault.
we did it, Joe.
Dude.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
people are probably. I could be wrong, but I know a few people have buyer's remorse right now because inflation's high, gas prices are high. I mean, there's just madness at the border. The other day, we had a National Guardsman. He drowned trying to save somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, dude, things are compiling. I think people are kind of waking up. Like, dude, we're not in a good spot right now. We do not have leadership. We do not have leadership whatsoever.
Dude, and it's like on so many fronts. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, pick one. It's like, is it inflation? Is it the border? And when I say the border, like I'm not even talking about just people coming over here. I'm talking about the massive amount of drugs that are getting funneled over here. And when I mean like not fun party drugs, I'm talking like fentanyl mixed in with all the cocaine and all this shit. Because if anyone's been paying attention, every weekend there's like some group of college kids are going out partying. They think they buy coke from somebody, it ends up being laced with fentanyl, and they die. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not saying that I'm not condoning the partying thing. I'm just saying that like we have a problem that's not getting addressed at all. Like, it's just like, and then every once in a while I'll see something. It'll be like, border agent seized 21 keys of fentanyl.
That
you know?
actually happened in my mom's neighborhood like a week or two ago.
Did it really?
Yeah, she was just telling me about it too. She's like, they did a big bus and had like, and so now she's like telling me all about fentanyl and stuff.
Yeah. So heads up.
Like I take it, but I'm
all you party goers out there,
Seriously.
make sure you're buying your shit from someone reputable. And they are like kind of fast tracking this like a test kit. It's kind of weird, It's like it's like, hey, if you're gonna do it, at least do it with confidence. But at the same time, it's like if they can't get a hold of this stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's a very tiny, minute amount. Mixing something's enough to kill you and everyone sitting at the table. But it's like it's not just like, oh, you bought heroin and there happens to be fentanyl in it. It's like they're talking about cocaine. They're talking about a lot with like Adderall. Like if you buy it on the street, like they'll crush it up and they'll put it in the pills when they press the tabs together.
Right.
And it's like, so when people take this, they're not thinking they're doing this thing, and it's over by the time you feel like something's going on.
Right.
So anyway, were we talking about Joe Biden? I just want everyone to hear that because I care about everybody, dude. And I'm not condoning being too crazy, but if you're gonna take a chance, be smart about it.
It's an interesting time in our country. I've only been alive 35 years. I'll be 36 here pretty soon. I've never seen our country so divided in my entire life. It's just a wild time, dude. It's a wild. And what just kills me is that everyone's like, again, tax the rich. And with all this stuff going on, it's the freaking middle class that is suffering the most. All these taxes and everything, the inflation going up. And people are still making the same amount of money they made 5 years ago. It's hitting the pocket hard. Super hard, man. So, I mean, again, I think I went to the store the other day.
Not only that, too, it's like really expensive to move out now.
Oh, everywhere.
Really
The
expensive.
landscape of America is
it's
totally
like,
changing.
Even if you wanted to, like, could you even afford it
Right.
with what you had just to make it
Yeah.
outside?
Right.
That's sad.
I mean, yeah, the homes that I were looking at least down in San Diego area, there were, I don't know, say 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 400,000s, 350. They're freaking 8 to $1 million.
That's right. It was just on.
Jeez,
it was
dude.
on one of the local channels. It said that Orange County has the highest average of house cost, like I think in the state of California. But the average price of the home in Orange County is $1 million, or like 1.1.
Wow.
$1.1 million, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
so what
that's crazy.
average family is going to be able to afford that? I know my family, they're educated people. Most of them are teachers, but they're on a fixed income.
Yeah.
You know, in the area I'm in now, they're not going to be able to afford a home here.
Well,
It's crazy.
Anyone who's started their career in the last 5 years,
Yes.
that's like in a spot where it's like you got to work up, or you might be capped out where you're at. You're never going to be able to afford to buy a house like that, you know? And it's like, I don't know what the answer is, right? Because
Right.
it's like, okay, well, is it fair for the government to limit house pricing? Because that opens up a whole other set of issues. But I also feel like it's like, well, why don't, they could increase the interest rates, but it's like most of that's predicated off the National Reserve, which the National Reserve isn't even a government entity, it's a private company. So it's like they just
Interesting.
buy. Yeah, did you know that?
I didn't know that. That's
National
very interesting.
Reserve, dude. It was like the Rockefellers and all that. Like oh, dude, don't get me started. There's a lot of shit. Now I'll sound crazy, and then I'll probably lose interest to people that are listening. So either way, though, it is very interesting. Look it up.
Dude, have you seen the interest rates now?
They're like 6, right?
Yeah, they're like, I think for like a 15-year, it's like 5 or like high
kidding.
4. And so it's like, that's on a 15-year. So 30. So it's like, dang,
So-
holding on to mine.
So how does the housing market affect? I know it obviously does, but apartments. So I'm in an apartment and my rent went up. It's 30%.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking around and everybody is paying at least 22, 23 for one bedroom. So yeah, it's obviously not just houses, but what's crazy is that it's like, industry wide.
But the housing cost for like a single family home, like with that being that high, like the problem is that market hasn't slowed down, or it's like it's slowed down. Like over like a year ago was absolutely crazy, but it's still moving.
Right.
And as long as that keeps going, that just means it's like the assumption is that if you're in like an apartment, right, you might not be in the financial situation to be able to put down on that house, so you're going to be stuck there for a minute, right? But then your landlord is going to go, well, shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, why can't I make more money? And I'm not knocking that either because I get it, but I also like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like the offset would be the housing market has to slow down in order for the rent one to drop a little bit.
Exactly. And you were talking about Orange County. Of course, Orange County is, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, good for the people that can buy them, I guess. But it's like, my always question is like, what do you do for work? Like,
The thing is,
you dropped $1.5 million on like a not that nice house.
It's more investors coming in. I know about 3 friends who were selling their homes, and they were getting majority cash offers from investors. It's almost like they're taking over the housing market and making it a rent state. It's really interesting. But what the cool part is, they weren't focused on the money, and they sold to families, all 3 of them. They're like, no, forget this. I'm gonna sell to the family. I don't care if I lose $300,000. Or at least not get that, the high number.
Yeah.
I'd rather sell it to a family who's going to use a home, have their kids in there, make memories, not give it to the investor. I've heard that multiple times from people. I'll just say one of my properties, I've never gotten so many letters in the mail from investors like, I will buy your house right now for $1 million. I'm just like, no, I don't want to freaking sell it.
Dude.
I'm not going to give it to an investor. I want to give it to a family.
Right.
Like, forget that.
Yeah. And that's, well, I hope there's got to be a whole lot more of those type folks, dude. Otherwise, it's not going to stop anything.
No.
And it's hard. I couldn't, like if you're in a pinch or you're trying to get out of state or you're trying to do something, you're going to take, hey, I'll give you $1 million. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
$1 million? Really?
Right.
Like the same day I put it up? That's crazy.
Well, I did. I called one just to mess with them.
$2 million.
They're like, oh yeah, we can give you, we'll give you 1.1. I was like, no, give me 5. It's yours. What? They get all crazy. I'm cool. Hung up. Just mess with them. Like,
You asked me
dude.
what I would sell it for. My answer is
Exactly.
$5 million.
If you're investing, you're not a family. Cool. I want double the money.
Yeah,
Triple that thing.
dude.
Give me the 5, babe.
Totally.
Ridiculous. But moving on, Will Smith. Yo, the slap heard
So
around
deep.
the world.
Yeah.
What's your guys' thoughts on that? Sam, talk to me, babe.
So, I mean, God, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
We've had deep thought convos about this.
We have. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a horrible thing. And I
Dude,
love how
he snapped.
Yeah, dude.
He fucking snapped.
Out of nowhere. And I don't know if I think I may have mentioned this on the show about the joke that Chris Rock made about Jada, like how the other one, I don't know which award show it was, but it was horrible. It was bad.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was bad about him and Rihanna's panties. Yes, I thought that one was amazing. And, of course. But this, like now,
It didn't seem that bad.
Right. And then the reaction, of course, everybody saw it, with Jada being like, and then Will like, oh, let me come correct. Right. Shit. Let me come correct. Yeah.
He laughed at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he saw Jada like not happy, and then he just flipped the switch. Now, I have been reading about Will Smith, and then Johnny Depp, and people are talking about toxic femininity. Do you guys think that's legit?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it femininity? Toxic femininity? Is that
like the same
I don't
thing
know,
about
but in
toxic
both.
masculinity, but for females?
Yes.
Okay,
It's like
yeah,
a
it
toxic
exists.
female.
For
You know
sure
what I'm saying?
it exists.
Yeah.
I mean, I think personally in both of those relationships, the chick is definitely the toxic one.
Right.
Well, she was sleeping with that rapper, right?
Yeah.
And then they always talk about having an open relationship. You can do whatever you want if you want to have a relationship. That ain't happening with me, dude. Not happening.
Jada talks about having an open
Yeah, I was like,
Exactly.
I never heard
Right.
of
Will Smith, at least the ththings that I've seen, I haven't seen one time where he's like, yeah, it's pretty good. We're doing our own thing. It's great. It's like, he's like, yeah, honey, I hope you had a good weekend. Are you still with whatever the rapper dude's name was? And it's like, there was, I don't know, like, and then I saw something the other day where it was like she was recording him. Like
Yeah.
as he was like walking up to look like an island or
He's
something.
at his home. He's at his home, like, and someone
like, what
that
are you doing?
Yeah, someone that like him that big. I remember you talking about. He probably doesn't have a lot of privacy. So when he's at home, like he doesn't want to be filmed. He doesn't want. He wants to be home, be normal.
Yeah, and she was saying, say thank you to Dr. So-and-so for helping it. Like, she was forcing him to acknowledge something that you can clearly tell that they had some kind of blowout, like, shortly before that. And she was, like, kind of pushing him to say, like, oh, we're good. We go to this doctor. Everything's great. And it's like, dude, that guy looks like he's just got pain behind his eye.
Oh, he looks
now, I know
miserable.
he's an actor. Mm-hmm. He's a good actor. But I was like, if that's fake, it looks fucking real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just... I don't know. It just kind of makes me sick to my stomach thinking that, you know what I mean? Like, no one should be like that to either party. It just happens to be it's his wife's being that way.
You should be committed to the person that you're married to. That's my thought.
Should be. Right.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should absolutely be 100% committed to the person you're married to. You shouldn't be sleeping with anybody because that's going to cause a lot of problems, dude.
Right.
Someone's going to get hurt.
Yeah, but like being that open about it. I mean, there's a high profile people. Like, it's not just like something, oh, you're doing on the side. I just want to bring it up or talk about it. It's like she like made him say it on that Table Talk podcast or episode that she did to talk about it. He looked like he's like, oh, fuck, we're talking about this right now? Like, okay, hey, everybody, I'm totally cool with my wife banging this other dude. You know?
You just like see his eyes swelling.
Yeah,
by,
and
like,
it's
the
like,
second.
You could see him. He's in
Yeah.
pain. You could totally
It's
tell.
embarrassing is what it is.
Yep.
And just like demoralizing him and stuff.
But you know what? Chris
say
Rock
that
wore it, and he reacted like the best way possible.
Dude, champion.
He did.
So if
Champion.
Super profesh.
if the scenario isn't made up, because I'm still not totally sold on that, but if it's raw emotion of that happening in the moment, dude, Chris Rock gets the gold star of the day.
Right.
Because he could have annihilated. And I'm not talking physically. I still think Will Smith would whoop his ass, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, he had the stage. It was awkward. He could have been like,
He could have
you know what I mean? He's like all time one of the best comedians that's ever done that gig, dude.
Yeah.
He could riff for days, I'm sure. And the joke about Jada being in G.I. Jane 2 is not that bad of a joke. If anyone saw G.I. Jane 1, Demi Moore was pretty fucking badass.
Wait.
So,
I thought it would have been a compliment.
yeah, right?
What does she have? Was it alopecia?
No, you're right. You're right.
I
No.
sound like a jerk right now.
I know, but it was a setup for that. What we were talking about earlier. I
Look into him
forgot.
in his vanity.
Oh God, dude.
No, and look, hey,
Shallow house got a guy, okay?
yeah, like get off me, banana fingers.
I mean,
You guys seen Shallow
what's that?
House?
What, okay, so what's does anybody know what the alopecia thing is? Because I never looked it up.
It's hair loss.
It's hair
Yeah,
loss.
it's hair
Basically, what I have,
Stop.
Shut it. You do?
I don't have any hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
have a good
thought you
shaped
did
head,
that now.
dude.
Yeah, but Sam,
Exactly.
Okay, Sam,
Bro,
when we-
you didn't, what?
do you remember when we went skydiving?
Yeah.
I took you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your head was fully shaved and you had a freaking massive beard,
amazing.
dude. You're a handsome dude.
I appreciate
I was
that,
like,
bro.
dang, dude,
Yeah.
that's my boy. Let's go, man.
Right.
Call Winslow it.
Right. Hey, but I would love to have hair. But real quick, I want to talk about the Will Smith. I know you guys saw this.
We'll get back to my hair.
Right. We'll get back to that. You guys know what I'm going through. But no,
Stop it, bro.
the Will Smith where he was on the Arsenio Hall show.
Oh,
yeah, that was amazing. The internet never ever loses.
What, tell me about it. What happened?
So he's on the show, right? And there, I think Arsenio Hall's drummer or somebody, maybe the bass player, he's bald. And Will Smith was talking about him needing to shine his head every day, and he was like, "Yeah, man," and he was like, "But these are just jokes. Why are you guys tripping?" And that was, of course, it was the same exact thing.
Interesting.
But of course, it was back then.
Well, it's like one of those things, right? You can dish it, but you can't take it.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I mean,
Well, he kind of took it. He laughed at first.
he took. That's the thing. Is Jada didn't take it, and of course he needs to do what he has to do, to be good in her park.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I
I would have
think
been so embarrassed.
Like, "Yeah, Danny, what do you got?" Yeah.
God,
I know
I'd be
you
looking
have
at
so
Chris.
many.
I'd be like, you wait till we get home.
Right. What did you just do? Right.
Your ears are gonna
I just
bleed.
I think with that Will and Jay thing, there's a lot behind the scenes that no one will ever know.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot going on there, and that was like a tip. Like what do they say? The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, man. There's enough up
'Cause,
front though.
Yeah, for him to go up on stage in front of national TV and do that, that's pretty.
I feel like he didn't even know what he was doing yet till he got to the end of the stage.
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh shit, I'm walking up here, so am I gonna say something? Am I gonna punch him? Like,
But I'm already up here.
I'll tell you what, he walked up like a G, dude. He was
did.
freaking moving
Yeah.
and just whack. Now, here's another thing. Do you think that was planned, fake,
No.
or is it real? Right? Because it was Oscars,
yeah.
correct? The Oscars, terrible ratings. No one's watching anymore.
Yeah.
That happens now. It's the talk of the town.
But at what cost?
Yeah.
Like that's what, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that can't be real. But then I was like, I mean, why? And me and Danny and I were talking about it.
we talked about it for like 2 hours.
Right. Like,
Dissected that thing like crazy.
like, why would you? I mean, that there's going to be huge backlash, and then also the person that that said the joke is a comedian, and you smack a comedian, like we just went to a show, and that's everywhere. I've seen so many clips on that. So like,
I would love if a comedian bagged on me.
right?
I'd be like, oh
Right.
shit, like I'm part of the show now. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
I think, all that to say,
They're like,
I've
look
learned-
at Sinbad sitting right here.
well, at least for me, like
Way better than
in
Sinbad.
situations where
Don't listen to her at all.
but in situations where I've been offended or somebody said something pissed me
Yeah.
off, and you let your emotions take over, it's always a bad decision, and you always regret it. Always regret it. It's like let cooler heads prevail, laugh it off, talk about it with them after, because you're gonna make a bad decision. But I've lived through that shit. I've done it, dude. Being pissed off at somebody, you're like, oh my god, why'd I do that?
What's even worse is that he wasn't the one that was offended.
Right,
so
right.
he was doing he wasn't even doing this because of something I mean, I don't know, Joe. I'm just I don't know,
That's why that's why I have such a hard time with this. It was like there's just so many facets to it that to me makes me more inclined to believe that this was staged. Now, not saying that he isn't dealing with some shit at home with their relationship and everything. The world is open to what is going on because they're so upfront about it, right? But I think that it's like one, you'd have it's the Oscars. You have probably one of the higher police presence and special secret security because you have so many high profile people that are there, right? So not saying that they're waiting for someone to run up on stage and happen to be Will Smith. I'm sure everyone would be like, oh shit, what's he doing? Right? But then I also think he just full on assaulted somebody if this was real, right?
Right.
And it wasn't like, hey, police officers, we need to get him out of here because he just smacked someone on TV in front of everybody, screaming in rage, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but that didn't happen. And I get it. It's like, oh, no, we asked him to press charges. He said, no, we're good. It's like, that isn't how this works at all. You know, so it's like, there's so many like those like, oh, we can get away with it because we're in a different class of people, right? Because if this was any one of us sitting at the table, we'd be out of here.
That's a
right?
good point.
So, you know, that to me, I thought was like, wow, that's crazy. And then it was like, he didn't get booted out right away.
They did ask him to leave, and he said no.
Okay.
Question.
Okay, so
Right.
sir, you just committed, assault, which is a serious criminal offense, and then there's no dispute because there's like fucking 5,000 people who watch the same thing, not to mention all the viewers at home. So you're gonna have to come with us. And he's like, no, I'm good. I think I'm gonna stay right here. You know, I'm fucking Will Smith. What are you gonna do? You know, like, well, I'm actually supposed to be making sure this area is safe, and you seem like a fucking hazard to people right now. So I'm going to take your ass out of here, right? So is it like, did the cops get together and be like, what can we do? He's just going to resist. Are we going to put this on television? Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. I think if you're the fucking guy running the show over there, you'd be like, hey, cut to a fucking commercial, dude. We're getting this guy the fuck out of here because he's a danger to people that are around him. Because if I was sitting next to him, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Nice, dude. You know what I mean? I'd be like, was that bad of a joke? I mean, the fucking hair, you get it.
Yeah,
you know, and then, but you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes,
like no one around him said nothing.
Question.
Not one person.
Question. So, because, okay, so you know how like Hollywood, you know, like liberal, very whatever. Do you think maybe they didn't go so aggressively because of that? Because it's kind of like your own going against your own.
Yeah, no, well, that would be the other argument of it for sure, which I can totally see that.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying, when they had a group of people talking about it, if this wasn't staged, they for sure had a group of people talking about it going, what the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock. And you'd be like, can you believe I just said that sentence out loud? You know, they're like, oh shit, but you're in charge. You got to make a decision here. What are we going to do? This is one, it's illegal. And two, we can't condone that we're not going to do nothing because that puts you in the same category that people are bitching about the cops not doing their fucking job.
Right.
Right? Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting all fired up.
No,
about
you're
this
good,
right now.
dude. You're good.
But you know what I mean? So it's like, that's where I sit with it going, I don't know.
But if it was staged, like how many people would have had to know? You know, how many, everybody, or not everybody, but a bunch of people would have had to know. Like, okay, this is going to happen. And, you know, like, you know? So, I don't know. That's what I'm also thinking. Like, you know.
I got an inside source said that when Chris Rock went to the back, like, his whole body language and everything did not seem like
staged,
that
right?
was
really?
staged.
Like, that was going to happen. I expected that.
Like, he was like, what the fuck is that all
exactly.
about?
Kind of like, really?
He was in
like,
shock.
let that, yeah.
Or maybe he was thinking like, damn, dude, I didn't know it was going to be that hard.
Well, did you
Like-
see, have you seen
Pull
some of
off
those?
it.
Pull.
Yeah.
Have you seen some
Full
of those?
Muhammad Ali, dog. I mean,
Exactly.
he was good in the movie. I mean, he could throw his hands around. You know?
Have you seen some of those clips too where it's all happening and the guy goes, receives a reward, and you just see Chris Rock in the back like, what the fuck? Like, so this is happening? Like, nothing's happening? Like,
Nobody's doing anything.
yeah, like, okay, that's okay. Like,
Okay.
you can tell he's looking at, like, people, like, something gonna happen here?
Right.
Then if it was absolutely a reaction, then you know, I don't know, kind of shame on the people running it, because I feel like you didn't do anything but reinforce people's thoughts that if you reach a certain area in life financially or popularity, then you are exempt from the rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they did then. Then all they did was just lay it out there that you can do what you want if you're powerful enough.
Are we surprised though?
No, I'm not at all. And that wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me that they just were like,
surprise
oh,
me
we
both
kicked him
ways,
out.
to be honest.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is a lot of fun to talk about.
Right.
You know,
Still
and
being talked about.
again, Chris Rock wore it like a champ.
Coben Murray's gone because of it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah.
It was like between Putin and the smack,
I
dude.
know.
COVID's on the
I
DL
told
right now.
some Vladimir Putin ended COVID. He attacked Ukraine, and everyone just forgot about it, dude.
They're like, but is it real anymore?
No, dude.
No. Well, actually, it's kind of, I guess, on the like low key rise. I know that there's a lot of stuff coming out of China. They're like doing massive lockdowns. I don't know if you've seen those posts.
It's like an
Oh yeah.
The people like beating him with sticks to get back into their apartment complex. It was fucking brutal.
Real quick, the Will Smith, and I have a meme that I think is the funniest thing. I posted it to our podcast Instagram, and I put music is life. Somebody superimposed instruments. Did you see that? Did you see that on the camera at all?
Come a little closer.
Right there.
There it is. There it is.
On that Kenny G note right there, dude.
I love the internet. I love the internet, dude. I saw that and was dying. I was like, dude, music is life. Get it, boys.
That's so funny, dude.
But yeah, anyways, all I have to say, it's too bad that, staged or not, that Will did that, because he did get an Oscar that night, and I feel like it overshadowed his work and what he does. I've loved Will Smith since I was a kid, watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air all the way through everything,
Absolutely.
So it's just kind of a bummer. It really is just too bad that it went that far.
And did you see the movie that he won for? The King
Richard.
King Richard?
Yeah.
Did you saw it?
I haven't seen it, but
watch
it's amazing. I
It's
know.
awesome. Yeah, it's a really good movie, and he plays. I mean, yeah, I don't want to ruin it for you, but the girls end up being pretty successful.
Dude, it's a very good movie. Okay, did you guys see?
Real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
While we're on toxic relationships, the Johnny Depp thing. Did you see how that TikTok star went in with some of that evidence about the makeup?
Yeah, the makeup wasn't even
Wasn't even
there.
out the year
They
she
didn't
was
have it out
claiming.
then.
Yeah.
So wait, can you explain that a little bit?
She said that she covered up her bruises with a certain style of makeup.
It was a brand.
A brand,
A
yeah.
specific brand.
And that one hadn't launched.
It hadn't
until-
even launched till the year after.
Uh-oh.
So some TikToker just looked it up and then actually went to the courthouse and gave it straight to Johnny Depp's team.
Wow.
Yeah. And caught them right on the spot, right there.
You want to talk about a toxic relationship? Dude.
Yeah.
They should have bounced a long time. I mean, the girl crapped in the bed to get back up.
Huge turd.
You know?
He's all,
Tell you what, man, those white girls be crazy, dude.
Right. Just dookie everywhere, girl. Put your booty in the toilet.
Yeah.
That one's
Do
wild.
Crazy stuff. But I feel like, I don't know. It's Johnny Depp. Was he really not going to bounce back? I know he lost the Disney thing, which he said it's because of this, because it's a defamation case against the article that she wrote.
is that why
right?
they're closing the ride? Or they closed the ride?
I'm sure. Are you kidding?
Stupid.
Disneyland?
Yeah.
They're until they can find out that it wasn't him doing that to her, I'm sure they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Which in this case, it sounds like she's batshit crazy, and they probably should have ended after the day they met. But and it's it's great because I don't know, I've heard over the years, didn't he file for bankruptcy and
Oh, dude, he was spending, I think it was $2 or $3 million a month just on wine.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. And I was thinking, I was like, dude,
Can you drink that much wine? I get one bottle and this shit lasts a while.
But I was looking some stuff up. Depending on what he's drinking, yes, you can absolutely spend that kind of
those
money on
bottles
wine,
are
$300,000 a
expensive.
bottle, kind of thing.
$300,000. Dude, look,
I don't know, that's what he's
hear me
drinking.
out, man. If I have enough money to buy a $300,000 bottle of wine, I'm not going to buy wine. I'm probably going to invest that and do something different with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Tim, but you're smart. Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow, dude, in real life.
Well, and here's the thing, too.
Well, is
That's
it
good.
for the fun, dude?
Yeah.
I believe that character. That had to have been his easiest role ever. He just rolled right into that shit. And people
Well-
were like, yeah, that's great. He's like, I'm just being normal.
I'll say this. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. Everyone's made mistakes. But I try to look at the positive, too, what people do. Like Johnny Depp, whether people know it or not, he was on his own dime, dressing up in his Jack Sparrow costume and going to children's hospitals and visiting kids with cancer or terminal illnesses just to make them happy.
Totally
I'm
awesome.
like, do people forget about that stuff?
Yes.
The positive that people are doing. Look, relationships have problems and people make big mistakes and they should probably leave each other. It's toxic, right? But I hope it doesn't overshadow the positive that he's done because I know it meant a lot to a lot of those kids.
Oh, did you see there was a clip that they were playing because there was an incident where she either cut the tip of his finger off or bit it off or something. Well, it was showing one of those times he'd gone to a children's hospital with some cancer patients and whatnot, and he was Jack Sparrow, but he had his hand. Oh, there we are. He had his hand wrapped up, and one of the kids asked him, "What happened to your hand?" And he was like, "Oh, I just got really hungry and I bit the tip of it off." He was playing with it, but it was that was the time that it said that had occurred where she had attacked him and got the tip of his finger
Well,
off.
you know what I want to say too is is the sex that great?
I would have said the parrot
You know-
bit it.
The parents. I mean, I have people I know that are in some pretty toxic relationships, and I think bro, is you think there's nobody else out there that's going to treat you what you're worth?
I mean, it's Johnny
come on,
Depp.
dude.
How hard is that?
Yeah,
I mean, he's the Aquadigio guy.
It's going to hurt. start over. We've all been there, but like, come on.
Well, he says it in the trial. Like he wanted to make it work, and it's hard to leave. And I know we've all been in that. Too.
I get that.
You know,
I get that.
When it's
Yeah,
just it's hard to leave. A lot of times it's like, well, you don't want to start over. But I mean, at what point? Like,
When's enough?
Where's the threshold?
Yeah.
You know, like there has to be a threshold somewhere.
Mine would be shitting in my bed.
Definitely.
Hands down. Yeah, I mean,
but Jordan,
we can maybe
would it-
work through this, but my initial thought is like, this is crazy.
But if she's shitting
all
your
the
bed-
shit you could have done like that.
But if she's shitting in your bed, like, what did she do before that? You know, like there has to be something even like not as bad, but still pretty bad. I mean, shit is that's bad.
It's disgusting.
I'm just, I'm
In the
just
bed?
embarrassed for both of them.
This will make him mad.
Yeah, like I'm embarrassed for both of them.
Yeah.
You know, they
Right.
have big careers. They're doing better than most of us, right?
Yeah.
Now they're having to live their private moments out in front of the public, and all their dirt comes out. I'm like, dude, that's embarrassing, dude. That's freaking disgusting. Like, it's just you're hearing all this disgusting stuff, and you think, like, come on, guys, like, really? And I always think too. You think these movie stars, people make these millions of dollars. You're like, man, they got it all.
Yeah.
They got to be so happy they got it made. But it's like, dude, they got problems just like the rest of us.
They're human.
If not more.
Yeah.
Momo is like trying to get her like booted off of the Aquaman movie too.
Oh, Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
she's an
that's
Aquaman.
right.
She's the
Yeah.
redhead, right?
Yeah.
Redhead, yeah. So now
Damn.
now they're now he's like
Be shitting in
Team
your
Johnny, yeah.
Again.
Like, that was the third cut today, Jason. And I ate corn last night.
Well, I mean,
It's poop again. Don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
well, really, to close this topic, what's
flaming back.
what's
the
going to
poop
happen? What's going to happen if he wins this defamation lawsuit? That's what I want to know. Is he getting money
52 million.
from Amber Heard? Does she even have 52 million?
I mean, the Aquaman movie was pretty big. I'm sure she had a big cut.
I thought it sucked.
Whoa,
Really? I liked it.
Yeah, I was like whatever about it too. But anyways,
$52 million. Well, and
I'll buy myself.
I would say too, like he's going to get some credibility back. I would imagine, maybe.
Yeah.
No, for
I mean, even
sure.
though all this dirt's out.
Well, I mean, I think look, once the one thing that they has going for him, one, obviously, if he wins, that too. But in 2 weeks, dude, no one's gonna fucking remember anything, right? Because like we have talked for 15 minutes about this case with Jada, or not more than that, with Jada and Will, and now Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But when the Ghislaine Maxwell trial was going on, that implicated like actual like elite people that are potentially like pedophiles or whatnot, and I'm not saying they're all are or not. I'm just saying something that would implicate that I would think would be like the biggest, like everyone on board, like, oh shit, what's going? Nothing,
right.
Yep.
right? But this, I can't turn the channel without seeing something about one of these two stories we're talking about.
Juicy.
It is juicy, but that's what I'm saying is that like in 2 weeks from now, no one's gonna fucking remember this.
Yep.
Because Johnny Knoxville is going to do something stupid or whatever. No, I'm just kidding.
Love you,
He stays way low key. I'm waiting for Brad Pitt. Something's got to go down.
Yeah.
George Clooney, he's been off the radar for a little bit. Or Bruce Willis. Didn't something happen
Yep.
with Bruce Willis?
Yeah, his diagnosis.
Of alopecia?
No.
The timing was way better earlier.
How do we pronounce it?
Alopecia?
No.
No, what
Oh,
Bruce
aphasia.
Willis says.
What is
Aphasia.
it?
Aphasia.
Okay, what was I saying? Phasia?
It's just difficulty
Or
speaking
FASA.
or not able to speak is aphasia.
The C is silent.
Wow.
All right. So
So that ended that ended his career, right? Pretty much.
I mean, I haven't
yeah.
He's done.
Yeah, he's done. But you know what?
His career hasn't been doing good anyway since
No.
recently, but whatever.
Actually, I don't know if it was an interview where I heard it or something that he's actually done like 22 movies just like in 4 years.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Just go on Netflix to put in Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
You see, everything's been made in the last 3 years. He's in a ton of shit.
Yeah, he got like totally like stiffed on whatever, and he was pretty much forced to do it, and that's what he's been doing like this last. So they feel like that has a big part of it too. Like he's just
sure.
overworked like crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That now he's like that, and
So he went down the Nicolas Cage route for a bit.
yeah.
Or
And guess
Nicolas-
what?
Dude, Nicolas Cage's got
Is
a
it
movie
coming up?
out.
They say it's his best work ever.
He plays himself.
Yeah.
Rotten
What-
Tomatoes gave it 100%.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Seriously.
He did. Oh yeah.
Pig was good.
We just stopped and looked at each
So I
other.
know, well, I kept trying to think of the name of the movie, but it was with that Pascal
Yeah.
Was it Andrew?
Pablo Pascal? Is that what it is?
Pablo Pascal? Yeah. Anyways, him and Nick Cage. It looks great. I have to watch the trailer the other
hilarious.
day. Oh, man.
That's the Mandalorian.
It is the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It is the way.
Hey, Mike Tyson was being harassed on a plane.
Damn.
What do you guys think about his response? Well, okay, hear me out. Did you see the guy that was messing with him?
So stupid, man.
Dude,
What
did you see the guy that was messing with him?
Yeah. What are you
Why
doing?
would you mess with Mike Tyson?
What are you doing?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Why would
Sit
you?
back, man.
Yeah. Well, and then
Stop it. Stop it.
well, in defense of Mike Tyson, he has tried hard to change his life.
Oh, yeah.
Doing better. And you got some punk dude who seemed like he was drunk on the plane, bugging him to death. Right? And then next thing you see a video of Mike Tyson's unloading on him, dude.
Yeah. I would have really liked to have seen what happened in the segue from when he was fucking with him to the time where
Right.
Tyson was punching with him. Because I feel like, I don't know, dude. Like I see like a lot of stuff with Mike Tyson in it, and he seems super chill. Like you had to have just gone way over the top, and like he's like perpetually stoned all the time.
Yeah.
So like,
He's got his own brand.
yeah, no, he's crushing it, dude. He's doing great, and it was just rad. It's like it's like this dude that has so many issues, like coming up, and not to mention like one of the baddest men to ever exist in the world ever.
Right. It's a comeback story. Yeah. Dude changed his life. He's made his mistakes. He paid, did his time, did everything, right? Apparently, he's having a lot of sex in jail. He said he couldn't work out. He's having too much sex. But hey, he changed his life. Yeah. He's doing good. He's got a company, and you got to pretty much harass him on a plane.
They're like, Mike, people have called you a rapist and a recluse, and he's like, I ain't a recluse.
You know what's kind of funny though is right.
It's a recluse. Yeah, it's like I don't do a good Tyson.
You
but
know what's kind of funny though is like right before this happened, he somewhat like kind of like advertised his stuff, saying like, hey, I think Will Smith needs a mic bite. That's his CBD.
She does a good Mike Tyson.
So
Mike
Your
Tyson?
voice got to be higher.
that's what it's called, mic bite. But then he turned around and did the same thing. So he Will Smith that guy. Well, kind of.
I don't know, man. That guy was pushing his.
Well, no, I know. No,
looked like
that
a
guy
douche,
deserved the
dude. Let's
beat.
be real.
Yeah, no, that guy.
Well,
but you know how cool is that? Like in 10 years from now, that guy's like, dude, I got my ass kicked by Mike Tyson.
But that's exactly what he was thinking. You know what I
Probably,
mean? Like
yeah.
he kept looking over at his buddy, and he's like, "Watch this, watch that. What are you gonna do? You're gonna pester
Yeah.
Mike Tyson?"
Well, it
Like,
came out an article came out showed this guy actually has a rap sheet. He's been arrested a few times.
Of course.
For some shit,
good.
too.
Doing shit like that.
And he lawyered up, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson's probably gonna have to pay him some money. Let's be real.
Probably.
Even though it's like, yeah, dude, you deserve it, and it's unfortunate that sometimes you need to get smacked around. You can't do that kind of shit.
I like
Can
how
you, hear me out. If we
Hey,
were all,
Will.
yeah, but if we were all on a plane and Mike Tyson's sitting across us and he starts unloading on somebody, or who's going to step up?
I'm not.
I'm going to keep sipping on my Jack and
up.
Coke. Yeah, I'm
Fuck
like,
that guy, Mike.
Yeah, record that shit.
I watched the whole thing. This guy deserves every minute. Keep
Beat his
hitting him.
ass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good.
That first punch, you just hear him in the background like dying. Like,
And Mike Tyson's in his late 50s. He just fought this last year. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but he looked good.
Dude, he was doing
looked
great.
good. Yeah, he's still got the moves,
He can
dude.
move, bro. Yeah.
I couldn't have felt good.
Oh, no.
I'll say that much. I mean,
no.
although the guy's probably like getting rattled, and he's like, "I'm getting punched by Mike Tyson." Right
Yeah. I don't think he was thinking at all.
like this?
Yeah, no. He was no thought there. Yeah.
was he drunk? Was he drunk?
Oh, it had to be.
He had to be
Yeah.
drunk.
Had to
right?
be.
He was, looked like he was acting like an idiot. So,
now.
well, hey, last thing we want to talk about, dude. One of my favorite topics. Britney Spears, we love you. I think she got the biggest book deal of all time.
yeah.
Right? $15 million.
Tell
Damn.
all.
Tell all $15 million. Let's go.
Yep.
And is she going to have a kid now?
Gotti.
Boom, dude. She put in the Lord's good work.
Yep.
Thank you, Jesus.
She's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
Oh, good for her, man. She
I mean, she was posting all those like crazy pictures.
She's still
and stuff.
posting them, which is kind of like, okay. Like,
You won. It's over.
okay. Well, dude, my thought is what she went through. I don't know if you've seen documentaries or whatever. She went through a lot. She was forced to do a lot of work because of the conservatorship. I hope she is happy. I wish her all the happiness in the world. Go have kids. Do what you got to do. Enjoy your money. You went through hell. You went through absolute hell. So enjoy.
when I saw that, like the first thing that came to mind was Dave Chappelle, like, gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
He's my favorite favorite comedian.
Love that.
Oh,
by far.
by far.
He's amazing.
I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr's
Bill
freaking
Burr is, oh
awesome,
my
too.
God. So amazing.
Dude, so she signed a book deal. It's a tell-all. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to be about. Okay, so it's
I'm
gonna
reading
be
it.
juicy.
I'm in.
I'm
And then
totally reading that,
she's
and I don't
been-
even read books.
Thank
you for that honesty.
audio one.
Reading is questionable, yeah?
Well, but I like.
I read a book a month,
Yeah.
man. I like reading.
Really, I read
Yeah, Tim.
articles.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I get it. You run a million miles.
Oh my
He reads
god.
Perfectly fit.
I haven't
you
read a book
read.
since The Prisoner of Azkaban.
You have an
the Harry
angel
Potter
voice. We
story.
got it.
Damn, bro, I read books.
I love reading.
Reading is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's because I told my mom this. She said, "I can't believe you read so much." I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I think I have a good imagination, so I can kind of picture it.
Nice.
So I like reading. And I just keep going.
So dope.
Yeah,
Love
it's
that.
just I don't know.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
pulling like movie stars in my mind.
Yeah, that's what and so when I do see the movie, I'm always disappointed. Yeah, nothing like I was thinking.
Totally. Yeah, I felt that way with Hunger Games.
I didn't read the Hunger Games book. I just went right into it.
All right.
That was a good movie. Unexpected, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna like it when I saw the thing. I was like, yeah, it's fucking silly. And then I'm like,
Oh, oh no! I hope they don't have to kill each other.
they seem good. Did anyone see the new Spider-Man?
Of course,
Yes.
bro.
Yes.
Is that a long time ago?
Yeah.
Sam's looking at you like,
Like really, really, Spider-Man.
The multiverse, right?
Yeah,
That's
the multiverse.
That
bro.
one comes out next week, right?
wait, what?
What? Oh, like on.
No, I don't know. Is it already out yet?
It's out.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
Doctor Strange into the multiverse?
Oh, that
no, yeah,
one.
next week. Yes, it comes out. Yeah. I was like, Spider-Man though? No. Yeah.
The Spider-Man's been out.
That looks trippy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
love mind fucking shit like that. Yeah.
I say we're all gonna get together and go watch it.
I'm down.
do it.
I'm in. Well, hey guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I just want to say again, 100th episode. Thank all of you for being a part of this, and also for my absence for a little bit. You guys took it over and handled it. I really appreciate it. This podcast wouldn't be what it is without you guys. Shout out to all our guests who have been on here and who supported us and had the courage to come on here. Firefighters for Freedom, all the way to Jackie, who's a nurse, to our first episodes with Sam, Danielle, with us.
Yeah.
We started on a plastic table, and now we got a full studio going. It's going great.
There's a rough edit that will never get released, but I want to listen to it one day.
No.
It was our very first recording. We talked for like 3 hours about, I couldn't even tell you what we talked about.
Everything.
Everything, yeah.
Pretty
I would like to re-listen to
Yes.
the one that me and Sam were on trial without knowing we were on trial.
Yeah. Wait,
what?
Which one?
Or I don't know if I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I drank too much.
We're good.
But I mean,
is that what it is?
no.
It's definitely alcohol.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
no, where was it? What is it where we all
Man, watch
came
your
here?
face, dude. She's in.
And he said, "Hey, let's hit the mics," and it was just us three.
Oh
in here.
yeah. When we were just in the kitchen, and we were just chilling,
Yeah.
and then we were like,
You
hey,
weren't
let's.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You in
glad.
spirit. He's
What
always.
was it? Oh, we were auditioning without knowing we were auditioning
Oh right, we were just talking about it.
because
Oh,
it was
really?
like
And
it
you-
was like 3 days later. This guy was like freaking Barbara Walters on The View. Like, I had an idea.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like pulls us in.
Yeah, and he was
You
like,
guys know what I'm talking about? No.
yes.
Barbara Walters. I don't watch The View.
I don't either, but I mean, back in the day, that's how she started it off. Like, I had an idea for this group of women, and so like, I'm just saying that was Tim after we calls us up. I have an idea.
Yeah. I called you guys. I remember saying, I was like, so I have an idea. I
Yeah.
want to see if you guys want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I think I
But-
said I sure do.
Yeah.
No, dude, I so pumped to be here still and loving every minute of it. And I think it's really cool where it's like where we've gotten to and where we can potentially go. You know, the future is bright, I think, and you know, I don't know. It seems like people like listening to it, which is crazy to me.
Globally.
But I love it,
It's
dude.
global,
Yeah.
which blows my mind because we don't advertise besides just posting stuff up on social media.
Yeah.
So in India, thank you for all the downloads.
Hey.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why you like us so much, but whatever.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. But hey,
Do you
let's-
think they have voiceovers for us?
What does my Indian voice sound like?
Like, no, but how
No.
does that
they
no?
listen to it in English. There's no change
Oh,
in language.
I didn't know
nothing.
that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. China, Japan, Spain. We have downloads. I'm like, what? I don't even know how people get a hold of this besides just
That's
putting
cool.
out the universe. So
Anyways, thank you guys.
yeah,
Yes.
is that your sign off?
Just like Homer Simpson seeking in the bush right now.
Yeah, no, but in all seriousness, I love all of you guys. You guys are second family. Trust you with everything I have. I'm looking forward to the future where this is going. It's going really good. It's going really, really good, actually.
Yes.
So, and we have a festival coming up. We're going to go do interviews on
Let's go on
country
the road.
festival. We were asked to come and talk to the artists and the speakers. Yeah, I was like, all right, let's do this, dude.
I'm getting my belt buckles out for this.
Oh God.
Hey, y'all need to get your shit kickers on.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go, buggy.
Well, anyways, happy 100th episode.
Yeah,
love you
yeah.
guys. I love where this is going. Appreciate it. Let's get a let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Bye,
everybody.
And that's it. Thank you for listening in, everybody. I'd like to thank our sound engineer who makes this podcast happen and makes us sound very good, Stephen Clark. And to our first sponsor, 89 Barbers. Look good, feel good, be great. Come get your haircut at 2 locations, Long Beach and in Orange, California. Your appointment can be booked at 89barbers.com. That is BARBRERS. 89barbers.com. Again, look good, feel good, be great. Check it out. That's my barber. He is the man. Thanks, everybody. Bye.